Listen, I expected the moment to be unified celebration around Michael B. Jordan's Oscar victory, but instead it exposed something far more unsettling beneath the surface. There are voices insisting he somehow didn't earn it, and the justification feels almost surreal. People are actually arguing he isn't black enough.
See, I gotta be real careful, because Lori, boy, she be in my... I can't make no mistakes. I can't make stuff. I saw one of her exes somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off limits. If you are ex, your is my ex too. That's the rule. The rule in our house is any boy that's an ex, he's now my ex too.
Well, now Nicki Minaj and several others stepped in like, oh, hell no, you're not a...
And shout out to Donatella Versace for custom making this outfit for me. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan, because he's gonna be taking it off of me tonight.
Based on what's being said, Steve has allegedly been telling people MBJ wasn't ready or wasn't man enough for his daughter Lori, and that this Oscar win wasn't earned but handed out as a pity award. Meanwhile, Nicki is reportedly pushing back hard, saying Steve is just bitter his daughter lost an actual Oscar winner. This resonates because it stops being about talent and starts becoming about ego, status, and control behind closed doors. Okay, now look at the moment itself. Michael wins Best Actor for playing those twins and sinners, and casually grabs a burger right after like it's just another night. That contrast matters. Half the internet is celebrating because, according to voting trends and industry buzz, people felt he was overdue. The other half is dissecting everything, writing long breakdowns on why he shouldn't have taken the award. Now, critics will argue this is just normal backlash after any major win, but data from recent award cycles shows something deeper. Authenticity threatens expectations. And then there's the Timothée Chalamet angle. He was a clear frontrunner for Marty Supreme until that CNN appearance where he dismissed opera and ballet, turning momentum into backlash overnight. At a human level, audiences respond to respect, and that moment felt like performance over substance. If this pattern continues, awards won't just reflect talent, they'll reflect perception warfare. And that's where the story gets uncomfortable.
I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or, things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there.
Allegedly, in that final stretch, Academy voters were scrambling for a new frontrunner, and MBJ stepped into that vacuum looking every bit like the safe, bankable movie star. Critics quickly built a narrative that he didn't win outright. He inherited the moment after Timothée Chalamet's campaign collapsed just before ballots closed. Add in the BAFTA controversy where a racial slur incident fueled sympathy, and suddenly people reframed the Oscar as a reaction, not a recognition. Then comes a technical argument. He played twins, smoke, and stack, but skeptics insist there wasn't enough separation between performances, claiming it was more wardrobe than transformation, more Ryan Coogler's direction and CGI than raw acting distinction. Others point to performances by Wagner Moura and Ethan Hawke, arguing their work carried more depth but lacked the commercial weight MBJ brings. This is where the narrative fractures into something deeper, authentic versus manufactured. There's a growing chorus claiming MBJ represents a version of black identity that feels curated for Hollywood, polished, controlled, non-threatening. Meanwhile, Delroy Lindo's loss that same night is being used as evidence that raw, uncompromising performances still get sidelined. Now, critics will argue this is just post-award noise, but based on voting patterns and industry behavior, this reflects a recurring tension between marketability and merit. Psychologically, audiences don't just react to performance, they react to what that performance represents. Even his acceptance speech became a flashpoint, with some questioning whether referencing his Ghanaian roots shifted the narrative away from a purely American lens. And that's where the goalposts start moving. One moment the demand is recognition, the next it's disqualification based on identity framing. Enter Steve Harvey, reportedly questioning not just a win, but revisiting Michael's past with Lori, as if personal history can be retrofitted into professional judgment. According to sources, there's an effort within that circle to reshape the breakup story, subtly casting Michael as a problem, even dragging in claims about his dating preferences to challenge his public image. These narratives about race, relationships, and representation aren't random. They're part of a broader power struggle over who gets to define authenticity in public life. If this trend continues, awards won't settle debates. They'll ignite identity battles that stretch far beyond film. And that's what no one in power wants to admit.
Craziest rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
That I don't date black women.
Yes, I'm on vacation right now, okay? I'm traveling around. And newsflash, okay? All right? Yeah. There's not a lot of black women in Italy, okay? It's not. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's not, okay? Y'all plug it. I read through the comments and shit. Y'all tearing your boy up. It's too much, man. Y'all doing too much, all right?
Well, whether or not those claims hold up, a growing number of people are arguing that Steve Harvey is in no position to publicly question Michael B. Jordan, given his own history when it comes to how Lori's relationships played out in the spotlight. The conversation quickly turns toward the period when she was rumored to be involved with Diddy, after they were seen together across places like Italy, Mexico, New York City, and Atlanta, fueling speculation about the nature of that relationship. For many observers, the situation felt uncomfortable, especially with rumors that she had been linked to both Diddy and his son Justin. Even though those claims were denied, beyond that, critics point to what they see as a deeper contradiction: how Steve and Marjorie appeared publicly supported despite the significant age gap and Diddy's controversial reputation. There were even moments where the families vacationed together, presenting a unified front that, to outsiders, raised more questions than answers. Now, critics will argue that public appearances don't tell the full story and that families manage these situations privately, but that defense doesn't fully address why the optics felt so off to so many people. Psychologically, audiences respond strongly to perceived inconsistency, especially when authority figures appear to shift standards depending on the situation. Add in past interview claims and circulating stories, and the narrative becomes less about confirmed facts and more about public perception and credibility. And that's the real battlefield here. Because once credibility is questioned, every opinion starts to sound like positioning instead of truth. If this continues, the focus won't stay on Michael B., Jordan, or even the Oscar. It will shift to a broader collapse of trust in the voices trying to control the narrative. So the real question is, who gets to speak with authority when their own history is part of the controversy?
He had shown me a picture of me and him, the first pic that we ever took, and I was like, you should save that as your screensaver. So he was like, I don't know how. So I was trying to show him, and I saved the picture to his photo album on his phone, and then I clicked on the photo album to set it as a screensaver, and I saw a picture of him and Lori, the same exact pose.
What do you mean?
I mean, the same exact pose that he took with me.
Okay.
And he did the same with Lori.
Were they clothed or not?
No.
They weren't clothed?
No.
Lori Harvey.
By the way, once you bring Diddy into this conversation, the narrative takes an even darker turn, because rumors have been circulating that the breakup between MBJ and Lori wasn't just personal. It was strategic. The claim is that Diddy allegedly sent MBJ compromising footage involving Lori, effectively detonating the relationship from the inside. This ties into Cassie's testimony, where she referenced a past connection with Michael B. Jordan during a period when Diddy's behavior was already under scrutiny. According to reports, as legal pressure started building behind the scenes, there was a motive to control who could speak and who might expose uncomfortable truths. Now, critics will argue this sounds like conspiracy layered on speculation, and that's fair, but power dynamics in entertainment history show that leverage is often exercised quietly, not publicly. Psychologically, this lands because it taps into a deeper fear: relationships being manipulated as tools in larger power games. The allegation suggests that by exposing private moments, Diddy could reassert dominance, not just over individuals, but over narratives. And if even a fraction of this holds weight, it reframes everything, from the breakup to the sudden hostility coming from certain circles. There are also whispers that Michael considered pushing back, potentially exposing sensitive situations from the past, but chose restraint, which only adds tension to silence. Meanwhile, support for MBJ has grown louder, with Nicki Minaj stepping in as a consistent and vocal ally, reinforcing a pattern where she challenges industry